Really? That's how you want to start the video? Aren't you going to say, hi everybody, welcome back to OK Aussie, it's Max. And Matt. And in the distance,
Hi.
there's Dyan. Hey guys, how is everybody? We're going to have a look at those cards in a moment. I just thought I'd show you some of the redecorating that Dyan has been doing and working on, apart from him being down there.
I still haven't finished.
The centre bench is coming together. You've seen that as a work in progress, but it's not finished, as she said. We have been doing a bit of cleaning up and tidying up. The dining table has actually moved to a new location, and I'll explain that in a moment as well. So that's over here in the corner. Still have our little office desk over here. The lounge area has actually been able to pull back a little bit to actually give us some leg room, because before it was literally centimetres in front of the TV. So now we've actually opened up the walk space. Yes, the drying rack is in front of the washer dryer combination. The little stool is down there in the hallway. I don't know if you've seen this as well, but there's so many things that are going on. This is the front area. Doesn't that look nice? She does such a great job in the design of things. That's our storeroom. And yes, we do actually have clouds. You might want to ask that as a question. Why do we have clouds in that? Because we can. It's a true thing. She has clouds. Anyway, so also in the art room, I just guess I'm showing you all the things that have just been moving around. So we've got the hoist back again. That's Dyan's Sonata hoist. There are times when she has paresis or paralysis where we need to use that to be able to move her, whether it's from the fatigue side of things with ME/CFS, whether it's from obviously paralysis post seizures. So Todd's paresis, that can last anywhere up to 16 to 20 hours. So obviously there's times when we need to be able to move her around. So this is actually our art and craft hobby room and space. We've moved the gold lamp back into here so that actually can illuminate what Dyan's doing in her art and craft table. We're hoping to get that up and going a bit more. What are you doing in there? He sees a door, he sees an opportunity, he seizes the day, carpe diem, he's off there and racing, isn't he?
Well, he's being immigrated.
Immigrated?
Into my bathroom.
Integrated. Okay.
But he's immigrated from the other bathroom.
Well, that's like true, because
countries.
You've already seen that.
I've given him my sink.
The sink area,
the
cat trees in there. Yeah. We're actually all ready for Dyan to do her bath and shower, so we're about to organise that.
I'm about to wash my hair.
Did you know that she's got a mermaid? Little crown, headband. The things that she has. It's amazing. Anyway, thought we'd have a bit of a catch up. Let's just get this in the tripod. So, now the context. Why have we suddenly done a few house and movements?
I have a lot.
Some changes around.
Yeah, why?
Well, a couple of days ago, and it is a sad thing, and we're still going through the grips of that. One, because of change, transition of change. For autistics, it's very difficult letting go. And what do we let go of? You may remember that in the main room behind us, we had some budgies in our cage. We had 3 budgies. We've had to make a decision reasonably recently, but we've been actually thinking about it, to be honest, umming and ahhing about it
for a long time, but emotionally not wanting to.
Not being in the space. But sometimes you've got to make some hard decisions to ratify around lifestyle and needs of complexities of healthcare. Now, when I'm seeing a ramp up of hospitalizations, when I'm seeing the care needs increase significantly for a person with disability, when we're working with over 24 different specialists and they're talking about bringing her into hospital for 2 weeks at a time, that means, as the primary care, I have to be on site with Dyan at hospital for every hospitalisation. Every time she goes in by ambulance, goes in as an inpatient, goes into clinic. But as an inpatient, I'm staying on site with her through that period of time. And that becomes quite a difficulty for when we have to deal with our pets.
Like our babies. Like
this one. But at least with these ones, we can do a little bit more differently. We do have people who are familiar with cats,
they're easy
who can keep on top of.
Yeah.
We've got automated things like the kitty litter,
automatic toilet,
which lasts
robotic toilet.
a month, which is fantastic. It's one of the benefits of disability with some of the ATVX items that we've got, the equipment that we've got to be able to support. Just like we're having a robo vacuum cleaner, but I can turn on remotely when I'm out of the house and it can go and do its thing and come back to its charging station. Things get done with artificial intelligence, which is great. But the budgies were also missing out on the contact time. And that was, I don't think...
We were too busy.
It's only so I was going, it's like, this is not really fair on them.
And also this design of the house, because we didn't think we were ever going to come back here.
No.
Anyone who's been with our channel long enough,
Yep.
which you OGs
We were
know.
told it was our forever home, the previous home.
No, but like, even this, when we first came here with a different provider.
Yeah.
But we're back here, and it's what it's meant to. It's how it's obviously meant to be.
Yeah, obviously.
And this
falling
is
into
our
place.
forever home. So.
Yeah.
But I don't get to have the same connection because of the design of the house, and also I am deteriorating.
Yeah.
And I was noticing that my carers, you particularly, it's just you're spending too much time on things like that, where we found a beautiful family. We're so blessed. He's disabled, the father.
Yeah.
The son is also really into birds, so they love birds.
They've already got birds. They're
They've
into
already
birds.
got birds. They're really into birds.
He's home full time. He's got the time.
And
to
I'm
be able to
glad
do that.
because
so that's
we, you know,
the good part about
we
matching.
have a lot of good stuff that came with it. So they really did get a good setup, and they deserve it because the budgies will get more attention. Whereas in the other house, I gave them more attention because I had that kind of ability with the design of the house while I was in bed, but I don't here.
And you're right too, because we haven't had support staff for quite a while now, as you've been aware
And we
of.
can't manage it.
We're still waiting for an urgent change of circumstances under the NDS from January. What are we now? What month are we in? It's August. Almost midway through August. So
Almost
it's like,
halfway through
come
August.
on, their idea of urgent.
It's disgusting.
You can only but laugh about it, because if you didn't laugh, you'd actually just want to punch walls, because it's just that
It's like,
sort of
I'm in
insanity
heart failure, but
of
don't
stupidity.
worry about it. I've got
And that's the thing. It's,
forever.
for me, it's around the clock care, eyes on Dyan between cardiac, respiratory, dystonia, seizures of multiple different types,
And it's
Tourette's,
just a
you
fact.
name it,
Birds
pain.
are more demanding than cats are.
Yeah.
Same with we both want a dog.
Ah.
We could have a dog. We could have a dog, but
Have one as an
I can't
assistant
care
dog in a
for a dog.
heartbeat. But the
no,
reality
but what I'm
is,
saying is we could have a dog
couldn't.
if one of us or both of us had the energy to
Capacity,
do so.
yeah.
We have a very large balcony. There is
Yeah.
great designs for toileting for balconies now.
Yeah.
But we just don't have
You still
the
have to
time.
walk them. You've got to train
have the
them.
time.
You've got to feed,
So
groom,
cats
bathe them.
is all we can manage. And
And
was
even
a
that's one of those
heartbreaking
things that
decision.
we struggle with
It's
at
not
times.
even really a decision because it's like it's not something that you ever want to decide with pets.
But we're not in our ideal
we
scenario.
were in a different house.
We are forced to live where we are because we've got to be close to all the major hospitals in Perth. We've got to be within 10 minutes drive to each and every
And
one
this
of
is
them.
the better place.
Otherwise, we'd be
We
out of
love
the
it
country.
here.
We'd be living in a small place in the country with
Well,
goats and
no,
llamas and ducks and
only
chickens
if
and
it was a
everything else
hobby
around
farm.
us. Yeah,
Only
exactly.
if it was a hobby farm.
That's our ideal. But unfortunately, here is the reality, and this is why we share this sort of thing with you, because people will
And
notice the
space
change.
as well. We didn't have the space.
Well, we don't.
Anywhere we've been. So, and you only really realise these things once you give it a go.
Correct. But we got them in a different time, in a different location.
Yeah.
It was a different setup. There was opportunity to be more immersed with them and support
Well, we
them.
had a different community
And then we're forced
too.
into
Like
moving.
we were actually living around other disabled people, and we had a little ecosystem before it got destroyed by the bad participants. We
And
had
the
a
bad
good
providers.
ecosystem where we all supported each other, assisted each other at different times, shared different things. You know, if someone needed this or if someone needed that, it was wonderful, guys. But like, that just wasn't meant to be, obviously.
No.
And it got destroyed by the bad ones, the ones that smash up the place, the ones that are violent, the ones that it's just how it was. And
it forced us to have to move on and out of that location for safety and
but
sanity.
we were
at
meant
the
to
same
be
time.
back here.
Obviously-
God put us here
obviously.
with these people. I do believe that. I believe that some things are not an accident. We all know that.
But the decision does weigh heavily on
It's
both
gonna
of
hurt
us.
for a
I
long
feel
time.
devastated at letting Dyan
It's
down
gonna hurt.
through this process because
Yeah.
it's I'd love to be able to provide the idyllic scenario for her to feel at peace and in harmony, connected to nature. But then there's the offhand part of, suddenly you're in hospital. There's no supports to even help you whilst you're in hospital,
But
let
even the
alone
noise as
help
well,
you in the
like,
home environment.
It's difficult, guys, with the other house compared to this one.
Neurologically.
It echoes here because this house is a bit bigger.
And
in
birds
the living room.
Noisy. And that's not their fault.
And
that's what they're meant to do.
It's not their fault. And
absolutely love them for that.
I'm going to miss them forever because their personalities are adorable,
Yeah.
which is great because they've gone to bird lovers. So they'll really get involved in that. They'll have a real laugh because they are adorable birds.
And
because
set up
we've
in the right
loved
place for
them.
that.
We've created that little personality in
connection.
each of them to come out.
Yeah.
But basically, I get a lot of migraines. I get a lot of headaches.
Almost daily.
And it causes me a lot of pain. I need a lot of peace and quiet.
Exactly.
And this
and sensory
this
overload
apartment complex
has been a struggle.
Everyone else's goal here, all of the people that live here, really love peace and quiet. So it's great. And now I'm feeling that peace and quiet for my health.
Yeah.
It's important.
But
and
this
it's the hardest thing to have to actually even say because it breaks my heart.
Correct. But sometimes you've got to make the hard decisions.
Yeah.
And what I was analysing was, yes, it was affecting you from a sensory perspective, neurologically, contributing to escalations where you're not able to settle and calm and
It was
rest.
revving me up.
How do you get to rest a patient who's fatigued all the time?
It was revving me up
when
because
we've
I was
got
like,
this in close proximity, unable to control that.
I was all stressy, but I didn't realise it was
And
them.
then
It's
the
not their
stress of
fault.
us going to hospital so often and so
Yeah.
frequently.
And
How do
worrying
we?
about them.
You can't get staff. If you can't get staff to do the day to day, how do you get staff to look after them? You don't have
get
family. You
worried
don't have the
about
informal
them.
support.
Yeah.
So that weighs heavily on your mind, and I
And
want them to be in
also,
a good space to be
If it's
looked
really,
after.
really hot in here, which this is a hot box, guys. This place in summer is expensive to run. I really need to start using the windows more with the sea breeze, which we don't get that much of because we're on the river.
Yeah.
But basically, I am going to have to use windows because it's expensive. It gets very hot for the cats, you know. And so even for the birds, it's difficult to be able to afford the aircon.
The other ratification of realisation was also time. And I'm struggling as a solo carer
But
of a
even
complex medical
even other
person.
carers too, it's hard on them.
Sure.
It's an extra big job.
It's the cleansing. It's the whole cleaning process of their cage, of looking after them, engaging with them, filling up
and
food,
they loved
water,
it,
and whatever else.
but still.
But another thing of time, and I'm having to look at the efficiencies where if I'm exhausted every day, if I'm not getting enough sleep as it is every day to be able to function and be the best version of me and not get sick, if I get sick and unwell, where does that leave?
That's it. We're in a
Dyan
bad
as
state
well.
then.
Exactly, because again, things
One
aren't in place. The
informal-
health system's not in place.
No.
The NDS system's not in
Actually,
place. I've
well,
got
I'm
one
going to
informal
blame
support.
family.
Yeah.
You're the one informal support, which is disgusting.
Yeah, and that's a 24/7
Society has
job.
fallen apart to the point where I have one informal carer, and that's just rubbish.
Yeah.
But anyway, it is what it is.
It's what it is.
But I'm just saying, like, I thought about that because for you as well, because I know that, you know, the most important thing is keeping me alive.
Correct.
And they deserve a good life and attention.
Well, it's just so much as the decision about why we didn't get a support animal for Dyan. Because again, we're in an apartment building. I don't have the ability or the energy or capacity if I'm in a hospital
but we're not going to
look
because of the
after
effort.
a support animal,
It's a lot of
feed,
work.
water, groom, bathe, toilet, whatever else. Dad, how do I manage to do all this plus
You know what?
focus
I
100%
know
on
this
this?
sounds terrible, guys, but you know, I've just bought sheets from Shein because they're so expensive here. I can't afford anything in my own country.
Yeah.
My bed sheets are $9 to $13 on Shein. I'm not going to use Spotlight. I'm not even going to Kmart.
Or
Kmart.
DW. Yeah.
Kmart's expensive and they're not as soft.
No.
So I have to buy things online. So I know it sounds pathetic, but buying seed at the cost of, I don't know about any other country, but the cost of living in Perth, Western Australia, because we are like everything goes to Sydney and gets trucked across to us, so we pay even more.
But there's a
Sydney.
luxury tax on things such as pets
Correct.
and animals.
Correct.
Okay. I don't understand why. Is it like, why should there have to be a
like
luxury or junk food? Exactly. It's like, so it's not balanced for everybody to be able to access and sustain and maintain. So yes, they are part of the rationales and some of the decisions.
In Australia, it's changed. People now can't have pets. A lot of the reasons actually are because of the renting.
Yep.
Owners don't want them to have any, not even a goldfish, because it might cause a leak.
No.
It might cause a flood.
Absolutely.
It's sad.
That was another thing that we've had to let go along the way. Again, we love our pets and animals.
Away
I know, but
in the travel.
But we couldn't then replace
the
and get more goldfish because again, it's
we
more
decided
time
not to
in
when she passed
managing,
because we
cleaning,
exactly,
filling, electricity, all these things.
But where we were at the time, it suited us though.
Yeah.
With the lifestyle we had set up in that location.
Correct, and particularly when you are isolated, and this is the negative part of this. When Dyan is isolated, when we don't have informal friends or family around us, when we don't have neighbours even, animals become the one thing that you can connect and engage with the most. Okay?
And I will miss them, but unfortunately, my health has to come first.
Yep. And that goes along with other decisions that we've had to make to try and fine-tune processes to reduce the load of energy and become more efficient. Well, that's why I've been doing all the zoning
of the house. Yeah. Like, this is, I'm glad I studied interior design because it's been helpful at the moment. Because I said to him, right, I'm going to zone the house. It's no longer going to be, I don't know, like, you know when you have a house, and this is the difficult thing about houses, isn't it? Is there's always this space that you know that's where the dining table's meant to go. You know there's a lounge room space where it's meant to be. But sometimes you can't do that with your lifestyle. Your lifestyle might be different to that.
Absolutely.
So always remember that with your house. You don't have to do things the way the house says you have to do it. You can be a little clever and creative sometimes, but
you can.
I'm just saying, I am good at that. I'm good at being creative like that. And so I said to him how I wanted it. And I've actually created a really nice zone for you. So for carers to do their thing without you guys bumping into each other because it's an apartment. Yeah,
because we are hoping to get carers and supports back up and running in the next week or so.
Well, we're meant to get 24/7. I mean, at the end of the day, get your button to gear. I need 24/7 care. Okay? Yeah. And it's getting a joke. But basically, it just gives you space and them space to do their job and your space to do your job because you're always doing admin. You're always filling out paper. You're always on phone calls to the hospitals, NDIS, whatever.
Providers,
Providers, yes. So at the end of the day, it just gives zones. And I've even zoned the bathroom for him and me, and then we've zoned your bathroom. I've actually adapted his bathroom with a new shower chair because since this heart thing, I've gone downhill. And a new stool,
in your health and condition.
And a bathrobe actually that's like
terry-toweling.
So it's like towel material that I can put on because I don't have the ability to. Literally, I have to sit and shower,
to dry immediately,
right, with arms now. I need the ones with arms. That's why I've got my new chair. The robe goes on straight away after my hair's tied up because it's wet. And I will be either lying down because I've got like this crash mat from IKEA. And I lie down on that
cardiac
because it's like plasticky.
Syncope or seizures.
And if I'm able to, I just sit on the stool. If anything else, if I'm doing better, I can sit on the stool.
Or crash to the floor if you need to. That's what the crash mats are for.
So basically, I've had to do a lot of adjustments.
But the zones are very useful for you as an autistic with your executive functioning to keep things contained and help the flow of
it's recommended for everybody, really.
All these areas.
Like,
so it's about efficiency. We're trying to become as efficient as possible.
If you've got kids, put a hook in their room for their school bag and a hook at the front door. Okay? And before it goes from the bedroom to the front door, they've got to collect their lunch on the way. I'm telling you, zoning and doing these things for anybody, disability, families, people that might be forgetful, elderly, if you put things in zones and okay, this is the bowl where I put my car keys, you're not going to lose your car keys. I'm just saying.
Well, I think today's episode hopefully highlights that living with disability is not always enviable.
Discs.
Well, you keep going with the discs while we're talking. And sometimes you've got to make those hard decisions.
Oh, I got two Mirabelles. Okay.
Function.
Great.
And if you don't, then you're putting the additional ramifications onto the person or onto the supports around that. So I've had to pop to Woolworths this morning to pick up
That's what I'm looking
the
at.
shopping.
This is what I've got. I've got like...
And of course, part of that is their incentivification marketing program, which is the Disneyland. I'll show you one of the packages. It's what they have as far as their collectibles that are out and about.
I have
the
that
Disney
many.
disc. You have a... Oh
I
my
have
goodness
lots.
me. You have discs.
I love the pink ones. Now, in my doll's house, these are going to be dinner plates.
Right. Now, they do come with the cards, but
I don't
Dyan
keep
is
the
not
cards.
into the
Oops.
card side of things.
I only keep the
with
one
the cards,
card.
there is information on the back of each of the cards that do explain what it's about.
I only keep the one card
Okay.
because that one is the Disney Castle.
Oh, the Disney Castle. So that's your favourite card that you're wanting to
It's a
keep
pink
hold of
disc, guys, that one.
and collect. But you're more into the discs. So
Yes.
And you can use them in some of the projects that you're making as well.
Well, yeah, I can use them.
Okay, so that's
I will
cool.
find something. Oh, what's this one? What's this one? What's this one? Ooh, another stormtrooper.
Hi, I love my Stormtroopers.
Well, maybe I can share.
Because remember, Disney includes Star Wars,
Stormtrooper.
Pixar, Marvel, obviously, as well.
So yes, I've got two stormtroopers. I've got two Mirabelles. Oh, I've got one of the princesses.
Which princess is that? Princess
Cinderella, isn't it?
That is Princess Cinderella.
Oh, it's a yellow one.
Fantasyland.
It's a yellow one. I guess because she's blonde.
Hmm.
Okay, this is a blue one.
So we're having quite
three
a...
Mirabelles.
Oh my goodness me, they're on steroids. So we're having quite a slow and relaxed weekend time at the moment.
Yes,
We need it.
food
We
shopping.
have been exhausting ourselves almost every day between medical,
The castle again.
with healthcare. Oh, you got another castle. Lovely. That's pretty cool.
Nice soft pink.
It's nice soft pink, isn't it? I do like that one.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it, isn't it? It's just having a slow,
Yes.
lazy weekend because, again, we need to also re-energize,
castles.
recharge the batteries, recuperate.
3 castles.
Yes.
Yes, because like, and I've ordered with my bed sheets a beautiful picture for the dining table because the dining room is now in the corner.
Yeah.
Which is beautiful because
More functional
when
that
we have
location.
guests,
Mhm.
say that it's like, you know, there's a view out to the yachts, there's a view out to the hills, you know,
You can
it's
see
going
the
to be
aircraft,
beautiful.
the airplanes taking off or landing.
You know, like it's a nice zone,
Mhm.
and we've now got more space in the middle of our apartment, which is great for me.
For moving
for
around,
wheelchair,
for the
or just
wheelchair.
moving around,
Yep.
walking.
Or the hoist, which
Good.
you saw preemptively,
Yes.
like you sometimes have to use as well. Very difficult.
The hoist is fun, actually. I giggle when I'm in it. When I get my Todd's paralysis, it's actually a good distraction from it because I get quite distressed by it because I freak out that it's going to stay
Yeah.
forever,
It's a
but it never
permanent
does.
feature.
It always comes back.
Yeah.
I always get my feeling back.
It
but
fades away.
I panic. I have like a bit of a panic attack at first, which I reckon is natural. I mean, if you
I
feel
think
like you
so
can't
too.
walk
If you
and
lost
you can't
suddenly
move,
movement of your limbs, you do think, is this a permanent thing?
yeah, you freak out. You're like,
I
"They're
can't
wrong.
do anything. I
They're
can't
wrong.
stand up. I can't walk. I
I've
can't
lost
move.
my legs."
The Todd's paralysis only happens in about 15% of seizures. Those are tonic-clonic seizures that Dyan has as a post-ictal phase. So as she's coming out of the seizure, she may have lost that sensation, ability, or the nervation to actually move.
Captain
Commonly,
America.
bilaterally, both sides, and it's on the legs normally only, but sometimes
Captain
it
America.
does also affect the arms and hands as well, full body.
That was Captain
But like I
America.
said, it could go anywhere from half an hour
one.
up to about 16 hours
Oh.
before it all totally fades
What's
away.
her name?
That's Sadness, honey.
Her
That's
name's
from the movie
Sadness.
Joy, which is a very autistic, insightful movie as well, if you haven't seen
What's
that
her
as
name?
well.
Sadness, but
That's
the movie's
Sadness.
Joy.
Yeah. Feel the joy.
I might have to watch the movie Joy.
Sorry, Inside Out is what the movie was
Oh,
called.
Inside Out.
yeah.
No, that's
Sorry.
what I was going to say. The character
The character
Joy.
is Joy. Yeah,
That's a good movie.
that's how I reflected upon. My apologies. They've got
But like, yeah.
version 1 and 2 of that, haven't
Sadness.
they? Yeah.
Oh, I have to
Inside
cheer
Out 1
up.
and 2.
Be
It's
with
quite a
your
good look at that.
friends. Be happy.
It's quite an interesting way to actually conceive how maybe autistics also feel with different emotions and feelings, because emotional
I got
regulation
new
is difficult.
cards.
Emotional regulation cards
50.
you actually do have.
So
Oh.
now I can have up to 50 emotions if I feel like it. No, the emotions that I have, I can now describe it better to people.
She had
So if I'm
bucket
crying,
load of emotions.
no, but if I'm crying and people are like, "What's wrong with her?" I'll be like, "Give me my card."
The
and
original
then I can tell you.
Sprout Hub version that we had and were using only come with about 20 or was it 16?
No, 16 or
emotions.
so.
So there wasn't that many in the
It's
kit.
a big difference, really. But yeah, what I was saying. So I bought a beautiful French picture.
Ooh la la, la French.
Because my style is a lot of the French style. So I bought a beautiful French picture for my dining room, which is right next to the dining table. So I'm excited about that. So I got that extra with my sheets because you know what?
Challenge is opening the damn
It's
thing.
cheaper on Shein. They're just like the posters that are wrapped around the wood, you know, and it's just a print. That's all it is.
Why would
but
they
it
do
looks
that?
stunning. It looks stunning.
Why would they make it so hard to open?
I don't know. Maybe because I don't want the kids to get in there.
Oh, maybe. Okay, so they come on a little ring so you can actually flip through them.
And this is my little bag. I keep my...
You literally can just go through a journey of
cards
have you look at each one. And on the back of it, you can actually see some information on suggestions on what to do.
All right, so what am I
So they're actually a
feeling
very good
today?
conversation starter when you're working with emotions and particularly through social stories. And it helps to actually work out what are the emotions. So with both a combination of interoception, that unawareness state, you don't know whether you're hungry, you're thirsty,
Okay,
you're tired. Alexithymia as well, when you also don't know the states of emotions in yourself and or others. You can't read the body language or the facial features of other people.
Do you want to know my current mood?
What's your current mood,
and
ma'am?
moods change throughout the day, guys.
They're
Don't
dynamic.
think that when you read, especially for an autistic,
Mm-hmm.
okay, don't think that just because we're sad in a moment that 5 minutes later we're not happy.
Exactly.
Okay, autistics are like that. Our emotions change just like normal people. It's just that we feel emotions quite intensely.
And particularly through situations. So as
Yes.
something happens, you might have a whole raft of emotions that well up.
We take it in
But
really
your
strongly.
body might be reacting and you might not be able to actually work out
There's
what's the cause.
No, but
what's
there's a
triggered
delayed
it.
reaction,
There
delayed
is.
processing.
Mm.
Okay, so I feel hurt
Okay.
because, you know, I miss my babies. I'm going to miss my babies for quite a while. But I know that eventually I'll be okay. And I know that they've gone to a beautiful home.
Which is very important to us at the end of the day.
That's the main thing, that they have a good life.
Yeah.
So I do feel hurt though. I feel silly because when I do this kind of thing, it makes me in a silly mood.
Okay.
I get all excited and silly and...
Which is interesting,
it's
oppositional
Disney.
sort of feelings. But then again, it's in the moment. 10 minutes ago,
Well, this
before
is
we
in
even
the
started
background.
that,
I'm going to be like
that's what
feeling
you've been feeling
this
for
in
a
the
while.
background for days
Exactly,
or
so that
weeks.
can convey for a period of time. Whereas
Yeah.
you might come out, have little pockets of silliness. You might also feel aloneness or other things because you don't have that
Well, that's
connection
what I'm
and
saying.
engagement.
The other one was actually I feel lonely because I miss my supports and also I miss my budgies, and you know, being disabled, you don't get as much engagement with the outside world, especially my type of disability of being bedbound, housebound. That's why I like summer, because at the end of a long hard day of either a hospital or clinic visit or doctor or a pathology thing or whatever, I can go downstairs, do some hydrotherapy, have a swim and a float.
Sensory heaven, being in
It's
the water.
sensory heaven. And I sometimes get to chat to people that live here,
Yep.
and it's wonderful. But of course, like anyone in winter, I think I'm not alone with that, being disabled too.
Yes.
Winter for
Seasonal
everybody.
affective disorder.
No, I
Is
don't
that-
feel
you don't feel that?
depressed.
No.
I'm saying like, I feel like I'm cooped up. I like to go outside.
That's the part that I relate to with
Yeah,
winter sadness.
so I
It's
like to go down to the pool every day.
not doing the things you get to want to do in
So-
summer's cool.
So if I go to the pool every day, even if it's for 10 minutes, which sometimes that's what happens, guys. I'm that sick that I'm only in there for 10 minutes. But for me, that makes my whole day because I'm outside.
Mhm.
So, you know, that to me just, I don't know, I'm a summer person.
You definitely
But
are.
in winter, it's like I'm a bit more lonely because I don't see anyone as much. And I think most people are like that though.
Okay.
Because everyone's kind of watches movies and keeps
Oh,
rugged
it's
up.
horrible. It's
Especially at the
I'm just looking
moment
out the
in
window at the
Perth.
moment. It's
We've had
so
storms
overcast. It's
and-
been stormy.
Yeah.
Probably the most
It's
amount
been
of
fun,
rain
though.
and water that we've
It's a little bit
received
fun.
in a whole year in
It's
the
a little
space of a
bit
short
fun
time.
though, like.
Sure, but it's cold, it's wet. I'm not a fan of that one.
Fun because it's gonna pass.
It will pass, exactly. It's funny.
And then you're
You're
gonna
in
be like,
summer,
it's hot,
you complain
it's
it's too hot.
It's too hot.
And then in
it's
winter,
too...
you complain it's too cold.
That's what I'm saying.
We
Like,
need the Goldilocks, just
chill,
right,
just
in
chill.
between. Exactly.
Get it? Just chill.
Just chill.
It's cold.
Oh.
No, but it's not that cold. Like, for example, it's 18 degrees outside.
Right.
Celsius, guys.
Yeah.
I'm not going to complain
That's
about that.
perfect. That's a lovely
if
temperature.
I was in Denmark, it's hey Google.
Down south in.
What's the temperature in Denmark, Western Australia today?
In Denmark today, expect a high of 19 and a low of 9.
They're 1 more degree higher than us. I'm moving down to Denmark, honey.
Excuse me, Denmark?
Normally it's like 5 to 7 degrees colder down Denmark than it is here in Perth. Funny how that works. Yeah, okay, well, I'm going down to Denmark. It's warmer.
Hey, Denmark, what are you doing to me?
That's actually quite funny.
No, you're normally 4 or 5 degrees colder.
Another thing I wanted to also say, honey, was a conversation recently, particularly around the Gestalt language processing and episodic memory, and I was just trying to really refine that for Dyan because it's a difficult thing to actually process and actually work out where you sit in that and how it affects you for communication styles, interaction, and social interactions particularly.
Yeah.
And as I was explaining to you last night, and I don't know how much you remember of it as well,
I was very
but you have got a very hyper version of episodic memory. It is a didactic style photographic memory. Now,
it's
there's
my only way of
certain
communicating.
autistics commonly seen more in the higher level, high functioning, low support needs autistics. Were
So why
seen
do I have it?
a
when
portion
I'm
of portion of those would have the
support
ability,
needs?
but.
What's wrong with me?
No, it still works. And see, this is the part about autism. It's so variable. You can have high functioning and yet you can still have high support needs. You can have low functioning, but only maybe middle level support needs. So it's a whole bag of tricks and every day adjust. But the point with it, and some of the research actually helps to highlight this with memory, particularly didactic memory, photographic memory. There is a cohort of autistics who have got very, very refined, very, very clever memory skills. And this is actually you. You literally could actually refer to the page, to the paragraph, to the line, to be able to reference. So when it came to university,
when I was at uni,
that was a useful
I
trait.
used to picture where the liquid paper was,
Where the liquid paper
where
was.
the highlighter was, what colour it was,
That's
and I'm
a
reading it.
visual memory style. So
reading
you
it.
would associate
It's
that,
creepy.
and you can actually draw back exactly that paragraph and read it word for word, even if it's not in front of you, probably 10, 20, 30 years later.
But you have to study things properly. Like, that's why you'll notice
It's a studying
me
style.
getting
A
sensory overloaded
visual
because
learner.
I'm trying to take everything in, and I have to not do that. So I have to zone in on only a few things and be really specific.
But I also want to point this out too,
Because-
and Diane's probably a bit difficult at accepting this because with autism comes some of the confusions of communication and difficulties, and a lot of time people get put down for being autistic. Well, you know, there's some fantastic damn good things about being autistic as well. They're actually hugely positive. Okay, and I think we need to also highlight and focus upon some of those really good things.
So.
And having a didactic memory, and look, I've also got a very good memory recall.
Right.
Yours is exceptional, and it has always helped me. And it helps us a lot, and this is why you did well when you were working for me and with me in IT marketing particularly, because of pattern matching. Some autistics can be
Yeah, that was
exceptionally
fun.
good at observation, looking at huge amounts of data, but also looking at patterns of behaviour, and working out how to do things.
Yes,
You found it
the
enjoyable.
I like
Other
the
people go,
scripting.
God, this is boring as whatever. But you
the
found
repetition
it
was just exciting.
100%. And I
I
think
loved
it's a superpower. I think it's
It
a
was like,
superpower
boom,
that
boom,
you've
boom.
got that incredible
Boom, boom,
memory.
boom.
You've got the episodic, hyper episodic version of that, which is part of your storytelling, and your strength comes out in the fact that you're so good at that, and that's what makes it very
I'm a good
interesting.
storyteller,
You're
yes.
a great narrative.
When I was at
You're
school
a great storyteller,
and
and
I
that's
was
what for
speaking,
YouTube works incredibly well.
when I was at school and I was speaking, in year 7, I actually got an award
Right.
in year 7. I thought it was because maybe it's because I'm talking and they're kind of rewarding
Having
me.
come from selective group up until age 11,
Yeah, they didn't.
Not talking at all.
Most teachers didn't hear my voice, like hear my actual voice, and so I got an award for telling a story. Like I wrote this story because I just learnt to write, and I just learnt to
finally by
to
age
read.
12 basically,
Yes,
in year 7.
year
That's
7.
it's an amazing feat and
And I
transparency
wrote a
turnaround.
beautiful story. It was a very immature story, but developmental delays.
Yep.
But it won an award.
Right, and I'd imagine that would be the case. And wish I had it here because you
I
put
wish
so
I
much,
kept
you
it,
put so much detail.
Maybe my mum's got
But
it,
here's the
though.
part of it about autism that comes in. I think it's the enrichment of sensory input that brings that information together in your memory. So when you're reflecting on a story, and particularly with your hyperfocused episodic memory, very intense recall, you can literally smell the roses at that time. You can tell me about the color of the room and what it was painted. You've got the sensory components of, you know, what were you feeling temperature wise,
I
or
can
cold.
picture,
So
like,
she can picture.
I can picture all these things, like in Denmark, before we built our house on my Nana and Pa's property. We lived in Scottsdale, which is up on the hill, and it was an old house. And I remember my bedroom. I remember the Easter when my dad, you know, tickled us under the arm, because I remember in the morning saying to Mum, someone tickled me under the arm, and
It was
she's
an
like,
Easter bunny.
you dreamt it. And, you know, as I look back now, it's like that was my dad. My dad was big into, you know, making it special occasions a big deal. Easter's, Christmas, whatever.
At that time,
And I remember the big French doors that opened up to a walk-in room, because my brother and I shared a bedroom. He was on one side and I was on the other. And I remember everything. I remember my doll's house, which was bigger than me.
Remember everything. But I also want to point out one
And
other part of
I
this.
remember like conversations that people had that were pivotal situations, and that I remember sitting in the lounge room with my Nana and Pa's house, watching Granny and just listening to all the stories, because we just brought her from Perth, from the airport, from South Africa, and we're like, where's the contraband?
What did you bring for us?
And she opens
from
up her
South
suitcase,
Africa,
and all her brassiers and knickers are going everywhere, and my Nana and Pa are going, oh my goodness, put it away, Granny, put it away. You know, like, you can't do that.
A little bit prudish.
So ashamed. And she's like, oh, everybody wears knickers and brassiers. So she was not embarrassed. She giggled and giggled and giggled. She was like, that's why my pa's like he was. Very laid back lady, very chill. And
but she was bringing the biltong and the Cook sisters.
Biltong.
Yeah, there you go.
And
all the
other
South African
stuff
sweets.
as well.
Yeah, lovely.
Yeah.
The other thing that I also wanted to point out, and I don't know if you remember this as well, but Dyan has always, and her family have always quizzically gone, no, you can't.
You must have
shouldn't
been
have. You wouldn't
told
have.
that by someone.
And this is acute memories from a very early age. Now, typically for neurotypicals, they don't remember things from about before 5, maybe 6 years of age. Quite commonly.
Possibly 4, but
4 is probably
5.
the earliest, but generally 5 is when the memories are started to be retained and can be recalled, and it's very limited format. Interestingly, Dyan can recall things from about 1.5 years of age. And
1.5,
And the reality is, that's actually a true thing. It's actually proven in science, and particularly with certain cohort of autistics, to have these very early acute
memories.
And they are called vivid memories.
I remember my first day at calisthenics at 3.
Exactly.
I remember running off stage at the concert at 3.
And you've got so many of those, and I'm going, geez, how do you remember? But that's also with your family.
I remember the conversation
your
with the teacher.
Your own family who were there don't even remember these things happening, and that's why they would query her and or accuse her.
You must have been
someone's
told
you
by
this.
someone, and I'm like, no.
But again,
remember.
a lot of these things tie into a lot of the senses or the intense emotions around the event.
I even know the weather.
The recall. That's what I'm talking about.
I even know the weather and what I was wearing.
On that day and what you're wearing, and the
I know
colour,
what I was
the
wearing,
type of clothing, whether it was itchy, the feel.
Everything.
Yeah. So I just wanted to explain.
You should have seen me as a kid.
I just wanted to
dress
explain
me.
that sense of the special
putting something
components.
on, chucking it off, putting something on,
some,
chucking it off.
Some autistics
there was
do have.
a trail of clothes, and my mum would go, "Are you dressed yet? What the hell have you done?" I'm like, "Everything's itchy and scratchy."
Okay.
I'm sitting there in my knickers.
Right.
And my brother's going, "Ew, you're dressed." Because
But
I
the
prefer to be
sensory
in my knickers.
scratching part of things is a bit overwhelming.
Until primary school, and then
Now,
it's like,
with
"Oops, I
this
better come
knowledge,
up."
so first of all, there is a highly vivid
I know the
early,
European side of my family.
highly vivid early
Nothing wrong with
memories that can be
nakedness.
recalled.
It's natural.
There is hyper-focused episodic memory, which is didactic or photographic in nature, which is a super talent, really is. You do elaborate in your stories, but that was the part that you were querying of some of the difficulties that you have, because people
Yeah.
don't seem to have the time or patience for you
Because
to...
that's my communication style.
It is your communication. And it comes back into the Gestalt
It makes
language
me
theory
sad
with that
because
didactic
It
memory
makes me
component.
sad because my connection with others will never be as good as what you'll be able to have with everyone, because I can see the other side when we talk the social stories.
Mm.
And I understand that people don't have the time because they have a life, you know, but for me it makes me sad.
And I'm going to
Because
highlight...
I will always miss out because I can't change.
Yep.
I'm 51.
You can't change.
If it would have changed
Would
with
it
all
not
the
have
therapy
changed
I've done,
with everything you've done?
it would have changed.
Correct. So
It
it's
hasn't.
but. Now here's a but.
We'll always try.
No, but here's the but. Once,
Yeah.
and it's a bit like what I talk about with the medical people in the health department.
Yeah.
I'm going to get the t-shirt. I'm still going to get the t-shirt. If you don't test, you don't find. Right?
Office
It-
works.
Okay, my saying is quite strong. Okay, I'm going to keep putting this out to you in the community. If you don't test, you don't find.
Maybe that's
I've been a
what- You guys
strong.
might want to wear that.
I've been a strong proponent to say, look, could you please at least test
Where's
and let's
the doctor?
work out. Let's work through the differential. Let's work out. Because I've had to do a lot of research myself, and I always go to her primary care physician or other doctors and ask for certain tests, and they go, "Why? Oh no." But then, sometimes I'll just go, "Oh, okay. Well, let's just,
And then something shows
And then it comes up,
up.
and I'm like, well, how did you know that? Because I've done the research. I've looked into the genetic.
Even
condition.
I'm like, oh, stop. That's just
It's-
an extra... They're going to take an extra thing of my blood. I'm going to be
Yep,
exhausted
you're not
that
gonna be
day.
exhausted.
And then
The
I've got to
vampires will be happy.
recreate the blood.
Yes, you
The
do.
vampire lady's going to come.
Yes, the vampire lady will come.
Damn
but
it.
more commonly than not, most of the time, 9 times out of 10,
You're right.
I'm right.
I know.
Because if you don't test, you don't find. But let's come back into what this is. And this is why delving into your style of classic autism, how you learn, what your memory does, what your social
Well, at
and
least I can
communication stage is,
communicate.
what also causes
Shouldn't
you
people
difficulty.
be grateful that I'm
But
communicating?
here's exactly coming from
No,
mute, selective
no, they're
mute,
not.
never
They're
talking.
frustrated with me.
I know, right? It's like you wanted her to talk, now she talks, now you're frustrated with her. Jesus, can she
This
do anything
reminds
right?
me of me doing this as a kid.
Wednesday
And
Adams.
my pa would go
That's well back
back
to you.
at me, and I'm like...
But we're in the
He
phase.
used to laugh at my anger. I'm like, why are you laughing at me? I'm angry, Pa. Thinking, you know this is an uncomfortable thing. Why are you laughing at me? But no one could take me seriously
No.
because I was this big.
I know. But I want to point out, here is the junction of several conditions. Dyan does have a deteriorating memory because of her 22q, so it is becoming harder with the
Yes.
short-term memory to hold on to information, which
Short
means
term.
if you
Dory.
disrupt her, she loses her tread and she can't
I
stay
walked
focused.
in the bathroom
So hold on,
today.
sorry, just give me a moment. So you need to
I was
allow
like,
her
what
the
am I
time
in
and the
here for?
space to. You did, I know exactly. That's your life at the moment. You have fantastic
I had to
long-term
go
didactic
round and
episodic
around.
memory, but literally like a goldfish going around and
Don't
around.
ask me what I had yesterday.
You forget the short term because your memory ability to store and
Talk about high
retrieval and
school.
recall is not happening. That's the first part. So if she gets interrupted, that doesn't actually help her.
Nope.
Then there's the ADHD. Now, of course, with ADHD, you get easily distracted and off on tangents. Then you throw in the OCD, where you can sometimes have this cyclical circular thoughts
Yeah,
in
where they
looping.
keep coming. Basically, circular thoughts, guys, with OCD. So apart from my organisational OCD, which if things are out of place, they stress me out.
Yep. You like things
If
just
things
right.
aren't organised, they stress me out. So, but also I've got the mind, which most people do. It involves the mind where my mind will go around in circles, and the thought will it's almost like the thought's just going around the brain and coming to the frontal lobe and coming out my mouth as a problem, and going around and coming back out my mouth again. So I repeat the same thing over again, because obviously normally it's a situation that I can't fix. Normally it means it's because it's an external thing, and it takes external people to help me fix it.
Correct.
And if I can't get the external people to help me fix it, it goes around.
Now throw in one last loop
It's
of
not
this.
fun.
The other part, which is a contingent, is when you have a hyper focus and a savant level, high intensity, incredible capabilities in certain areas. Now, Dyan can't tie her shoelaces for nuts.
It's
okay?
awful when people say, I didn't say that, and you're like, I know you did 3 months ago.
Because her memory is exactly that accurate. In fact, if I was to
Yeah.
do a video recording, she would repeat it word for word, probably with the same intonations and spacing and pattern as it was actually said to her. So you've got a very good oral memory as well as photographic memory.
Yeah,
Perfectly. You do.
I do.
So that's that part. But with savant, which is people who are incredibly good, Dyan's incredibly good at certain things. Art is a fantastic thing for her with her creativity. Memory is a savant level thing for her because she has incredible recall and attention around older data. So
Yeah, people
episodic
at uni used to
level.
laugh at me in
It's
third
amazing.
year.
No, it's
They're
just
like,
incredible.
how do you remember first
Like a
year?
book.
I'm like,
Word for word,
what are you
page for
talking
page.
about? You've forgotten first
Thousands
year?
of books later, she's
You
stored all
shouldn't
that
be
information
doing
up.
psychology. You shouldn't be doing the degree if you've forgotten first year.
And with autism, with
What?
special interest and hyperfocus, if you're on any of the tangents, like psychology as an example, where Dyan has delved into it, she can go and lecture it. She can lecture it to the highest level. She knows
it's
the
easy.
DSM 4 and 5 inside out and all the information. Doesn't mean that she can apply it to herself, but she knows the theories and the information and how to teach it theoretically. So I want to put those all in context because that's your challenges for communication. And with that,
And inpatient people will never work well with me.
No.
And I'm not saying that inpatient people are bad people. Some people are just impatient.
but it's like
I'm
oil and
impatient.
water. It doesn't
Yeah,
work
it
with
doesn't
your
work.
style of learning.
And it makes me sad.
And this
because
is why-
I can't be like. See, this is the thing. Like to Maslow's hierarchy of needs and self-actualization.
Yep.
You're self-actualized when you're adaptable.
Mhm.
And I'm highly adaptable in some areas,
Mhm.
and then some areas I'm
fixed,
not because of
but
my
you can't.
autism. So it makes me very sad that there's many aspects of life and connections with humans that I
Bingo.
will never be able
So
to
we
do.
have a hybrid model, and this is where it's now that we understand
can't do
that, now that we
meetings.
can actually apply a name to it and that has an explanation, I can go into the hospital and say, well, look, we need to put a communication profile for Dyan so that she can use things like her alternative communication device, the AAC, that she can listen to things slowly, that she can have more time to be part of that we can simplify things with
Yeah,
diagrams.
if they want me part of it, I
When
can
she's
only
in a
be
good
me.
space, she can absolutely apply.
I
But when
can't
she's not in a
be
good space,
something I'm not.
she can't be something that she's
But
not.
I get told off
Yeah.
because they want me, because this is what Australia's like. We're still so early adopters to autism, and they look at me and they're like, okay, she's 51 and blah, blah, blah. They're like, come on, just, why can't you answer this question? And they're looking at me as if like, what's wrong with you? And it's like, autism.
Exactly.
You know, I can't be what they want me to be.
Now,
and I get punished for it, actually.
this year,
I get punished for it.
this year, as we move forward
not
with
fair.
some of the supports under the NDS, one of those will be
Yes.
speech therapy.
Correct.
And we'll also use things like psychology, but speech therapy predominantly.
Yeah.
What I would like to do is the fact that now that we've actually got a really clear picture of your communication, your learning, your
Yeah.
knowledge, and also your memory, and the things that impede but also are powerful figures, you can actually work on things with the speech therapist to actually improve your communication style
But
for
where
those
do
circumstances.
But where do you draw the line at taking away my personality of autism?
100%.
Because you can't separate autism from the person.
Bingo. So,
And when does it improve your life? Because I'm up for improving my life
correct.
and making changes.
Yep.
But I'm also conscious of, in the
Very
past,
good
I've
points.
done some therapies when I was younger, in adulthood, where I believe that it took away
The you
the
are.
autism, like it made it squash.
Just stop being autistic for a moment.
Yeah, it made it squash and made me fake.
Yep.
And I was unhappy and miserable. And Dr. Tony Atwood, what does he say about
He's
that?
a professor
If
and
you
he
mask,
specialises
you're
in female
going
autism.
to get depressed. Don't mask.
Bingo.
So I don't mask.
So I have always been encouraging to
So there's a
stop the
balance.
masking,
There's a
to
balance.
unmask and be the true authentic Dyan that she
There's
is.
a balance.
And the reality with that is also identifying that, gee, you're very autistic, classic autism, what do you expect? And putting that up front so that when we do meet people and in clinical settings, hospital and maybe new people, you will sometimes have the lanyard on that says you're
Yeah, I
autistic.
do
As
have
I
my
as I said
lanyard.
to all the directors at the hospital, I did a bit of a show and tell. She comes in with headsets on. That's a really good give away. She's got a lanyard that says
It's noisy in the
autistic,
hospital.
and it's got the invisible disabilities sunflower icon on it as well. She's got an iPad with an
I
AAC
don't know why
device.
they make so many
She has a
of them.
stimming toy. It's like, if you can't work out that this girl is autistic,
I've got good
go figure.
student.
Now in Australia, it is only this year that they're starting to work on a program to actually help
Yes.
improve the interactions for autistics in workplaces, in the community, in education, in healthcare.
Which is
I'm having that conversation with the hospital directors up front. So,
but the problem is, for my generation, it's a bit late.
Exactly.
But it's not that it's
but
not
your
going to be helpful.
geneticist for 22q11.2 deletion syndrome has explained to the hospitals, you need twice as long. You need to slow things down. Executive function, one thing at a time.
I can't
Use
do
diagrams
one.
if you need to explain
Diagrams
things. Exactly.
are good.
Remove some of the stresses which are distractors.
Admin stuff and all of
Bingos,
that.
close proximity, bright lights, flashing lights,
Yeah,
cold
close
environments.
proximity.
Simple things. So all of those actually now takes on board an acceptance
'Cause I just
model
wanna walk
of
away,
autism
otherwise.
and makes accommodations. I've been fighting for a number of years just
I
to
have
get
to go to the
accommodations.
toilet.
We're going to finish up right here. I've
I'm
been fighting for a
busting.
couple of
It's
years
crucial.
to make accommodations for autism. And that's now worked because we don't want to change Dyan. She can't change. She's 51 years of age. She is who she
I
is.
am who I am.
It's accepting who it is. In the social sense, that's going to be a bit more of a challenge because
Makes
people
me
need to see you
sad
for who you
because
are.
Unless someone enjoys listening to stories, and I love listening to their stories. It's not like I don't listen to others, but if someone's the kind of person that doesn't like listening to stories or facts or anything, I am an outcast.
But you also identify, you get them better with males because there's more technical and information.
I
You
find them
hate
fascinating. They're doers.
bitching. You don't
I'm
like
a
the
doer.
negative,
I like to
toxic
do.
behaviour of
Let's
bitching.
do something.
So if you
Let's
profile
do
that and connect to
something.
people who are positive,
Yes.
who are enthusiastic, who have got
I
lots of
don't like-
interesting information.
If someone's sad all the time, it makes
brings
me
you down.
just go.
Mm-hmm.
I absorb it all.
You do.
And so I have to be careful of that.
So guys, I hope that was a bit insightful. It's been an interesting mixed bag of our conversation today. You got to go to the toilet, which is important. I know that.
This is recommended to anyone who has alexithymia with your autism,
Emotional
which you probably
cards.
do if you're autistic, because I think everyone has it, even if you don't realise
To
it.
different degrees, absolutely.
And women have more emotions than men. That is biology. Look it up if you want. But cards help.
They do help, and they
Social
help to have the
stories.
social story.
Yeah.
And allowing for that time, and allowing for the
These are my new
communication
ones.
style, and allowing for going off in tangents
So I've
of
got
stories
ones in my bag
is also
for
allowing for
taking out with
acceptance
us.
of autism.
So the one in my bag goes with us anywhere. So in
case we're
hospital,
stuck in the hospital.
say if a nurse is like, okay, she's distressed, I don't know what's wrong with this chick, because they don't have patience. I can bring out my emotions cards if
Actually, they do. They're a nurse. They have patience. On that note, I'm going to leave that joke right there.
But these are my
Guys,
new
give us,
ones,
give us a big thumbs up of
which
encouragement.
stay in my medical
Comments,
cabinet.
questions, ideas, suggestions, leave them below. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe.
And say
Hit that
hi,
notification.
Maxie.
Maxie,
Look, he's been
say
sleeping
goodbye.
the whole time.
he's so lazy. Seriously. And so's Willow. He's just over there.
And
They're sleeping.
It's a dreary day.
I'm not surprised.
But, you know.
You're meant to be asleep at night time, buddy.
It's the weekend, it's chill time. I'm going to go wash my hair now.
Sounds good.
And I'm going to use my new shower chair for the first
I'm
time.
going to see how it goes. In the
and
zone with executive functioning.
my robe as well. I bought a robe from IKEA because it's the cheapest
And a stool to
place.
sit on.
And I'm just literally going to wrap that around me and just lay down because POTS plus
Postural,
your
orthostatic,
heart trying to
tachycardia
fail
syndrome.
on you is not a good combination,
Not a good combination.
with hot water.
Not when you're going tachycardic.
I don't know if
with
you know
arrhythmia.
anything about hearts, but the hot water makes your blood pressure go all over the shop.
Especially if you've got orthostatic intolerance. All right, guys, we love you and leave you, and we'll see you in another episode.
Bye.
Bye for now.